Thanksgiving 2022 will be one of the roughest Thanksgivings on record. This means that we're going to see price increases across the board on things like food, things like gas, utilities, rent, medications, and so much more. And while all these price increases are happening, the American people are still struggling to pay their everyday bills. But here's one of the problems. We have an election on November 8th. And what comes after the election is going to be telling as to how much more prices increase or as to if things are actually going to come down. And I say this for a couple reasons. First, after the election, there's only 17 working days for Congress. That means they have 17 days to pack in any legislation that they can to make sure, and this will come if Democrats lose the majority in the House and the Senate. They will try to do whatever they can to push legislation through, which will most likely increase prices. Now, I don't want to scare you and worry you that, you have to vote Democrat because if you don't, prices are going to increase. Prices may increase only temporarily if Democrats lose the majority in the House and the Senate. But if, let's say, they do maintain control, just understand we may not see any changes at all. They may wait until January to decide to actually pass any legislation. So that's very important to understand the timeline behind when these changes could potentially come. But again, that is not the only problem. We got other problems as well. For example, before Thanksgiving on November 19th, that is when railroad workers could potentially go on strike. And if this were to happen, I can guarantee you there would be delays in certain Thanksgiving products. And it's not because a lot of Thanksgiving products like turkey and mashed potatoes and biscuits and all these things, yams, are heading there, from town to town on rail. No, that's not what's happening. What is happening is truckers would then be overloaded with the new products. And I say this because railroad companies have already said they've set up contingency plans that if a railroad strike does occur, they would take all their products and move it onto trucks. And by moving all of their products over to a truck, first it would do one of two things. It would raise prices and it would create delays, which in turn would also mean truckers are overloaded with work. Some would eventually quit. Some would just get so many hours. They would make so much money, which would be great. But in the end, the American people will still suffer. And if you've been watching any of my videos for the past few weeks, you know there's a crisis on the Mississippi River. The Mississippi River, the water has actually been going lower and lower because of the drought. What does this mean? This means less barges can travel down the Mississippi River, which means it takes more time and it costs more money to ship goods through the Mississippi River, which means the cost will be pushed over to us, and it would mean that it's going to take longer for us to receive the products that are going down the river. And if that wasn't enough, we also learned just this week that the USDA had to cull another 470,000 turkeys right before the big holiday season. Now, I've said this time and time again before, and I will continue to tell you this up until Thanksgiving. If you haven't got a turkey and you are planning on cooking and eating a turkey, now is the time to do so before prices go up. I have been lucky enough to get a couple turkeys. I actually got two that are just sitting in freezers right now because I didn't want to wait until right before Thanksgiving to potentially buy a turkey and pay an additional 10 to 15% more just because there's shortages of turkeys, and obviously prices have been going back up. Now, I don't want to make this video any longer than it needs to be. I just wanted to come on here and give you this quick little update as to what we are currently seeing. There are some food shortages, and it's not just for turkey. Okay, we see turkey, we see butter, we've seen rolls, corn, fruits, vegetables, and all those things. So just understand, if you want to get rid of the possibility there's a shortage, then just understand you have to go and buy those things today or very soon. Because if you wait too long, there will be an additional shortage. And again, prices are still going up. So just wanted to leave you with that little message. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure you go ahead, subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.